Imagine, at 72 years old, looking back and realizing that your dream home, your beloved car, and your safe investments have quietly drained your life savings over the years. What if the financial decisions you made, with the best intentions, the ones that seemed wise and conservative, are now the ones slowly eroding your future while you sleep? Welcome. I'm Vernon here. Today, I want to share something that could dramatically change your financial future. There are 5 types of assets that consistently keep seniors poor in old age. Yet most people cling to them out of habit or misguided financial advice, along with practical strategies to protect themselves from these common but costly mistakes. Please support me by hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're always in the loop with my latest video. Now, let's dive into these critical financial truths that could change everything about how you approach your retirement. Asset number 1. The oversized family home prison. For many seniors, the family home represents success and security, but over time, it can turn into a financial burden. What was once a vibrant space filled with activity often becomes a prison in retirement. Beyond the high maintenance costs and property taxes, it's the emotional attachment that keeps people holding on to a home that no longer suits their needs. I know a similar story of Robert and Eleanor, my neighbors, who spent 40 years building their dream home, a stunning 4,000 square foot house with expansive gardens, multiple guest rooms, and all the amenities they imagined enjoying in retirement. By the time they turned 70, their home had become what I refer to as a wealth prison. It held the majority of their net worth captive while demanding constant payments for its upkeep. Robert calculated that between property taxes, insurance, maintenance, utilities, and repairs, their home was costing nearly $3,000 a month. Yet the empty rooms went unused, and the large grounds required costly landscaping that Robert could no longer handle. Worst of all, when Eleanor needed expensive medical care, they realized their wealth was trapped in an illiquid asset they couldn't easily access. The reality is, holding on to a large home can drain your finances while limiting your mobility and freedom. It requires more heating and cooling, more cleaning and upkeep, more insurance and taxes. Every dollar spent on maintaining excess space is a dollar not available for healthcare, experiences, or emergency needs. As your lifestyle changes, this asset may actually be doing more harm than good. It's time to rethink your living situation and consider downsizing to a space that aligns with your current needs and financial goals. Additionally, being house rich but cash poor is a dangerous position for seniors. Your home equity can't pay for groceries, medications, or unexpected expenses. Many seniors find themselves trapped in homes they can't afford to maintain but can't afford to sell because they need the equity for their care. Research from the National Association of Realtors shows that seniors who downsize their homes typically free up an average of $150 in equity while reducing their monthly housing costs by $800 $1,200, dramatically improving their cash flow and financial flexibility. So, what should you do to protect your assets while still living comfortably? Here are some specific strategies to consider. Evaluate your home honestly. If it's too big, costly to maintain, or makes up more than 50% of your net worth, consider downsizing or renting. The goal is to align your home with your current needs, not to hold on to past success. Rent out part of your home. If you're not ready to move, renting unused rooms can generate extra income and free up value without selling. Sell the home and invest in a retirement fund. If downsizing isn't enough, selling and investing the equity provides more liquidity and flexibility for retirement needs. Ask yourself this crucial question: is your home serving your retirement, or is your retirement serving your home? This reflection connects directly to our next wealth destroyer: Because just as oversized homes trap wealth in maintenance costs, luxury vehicles trap wealth in depreciation and ongoing expenses. Asset number 2. The luxury car depreciation trap. Building on what we discovered about oversized homes trapping wealth, there's another asset that seniors often hold on to for emotional rather than financial reasons. Expensive vehicles that drain wealth through depreciation, maintenance, and opportunity cost. No one else but me has fallen into this trap. I continue to maintain 2 luxury vehicles, a BMW sedan and a Mercedes SUV, long after my driving needs had been reduced to weekly grocery trips and monthly visits to my grandchildren. I was spending nearly $1,400 per month on car payments, insurance, maintenance, and fuel for vehicles that sat in the garage unused most of the time. What I hadn't calculated was the opportunity cost. The $1,400 per month I was spending on vehicles could have generated $168 over 10 years if invested at a modest 6% return. My deserved luxury was actually stealing my financial future. You must know this. Cars are depreciating assets that lose value every day, whether driven or not. Luxury vehicles depreciate faster and incur higher maintenance, insurance, and repair costs. For seniors who drive less, the cost per mile can become overwhelming. Expensive vehicles also often come with costly financing, which can strain fixed retirement incomes, while the opportunity cost of that money grows over time. Contemporary research from Edmunds shows that luxury vehicles lose an average of 60% of their value in the first 5 years, compared to 50% for economy vehicles, while maintenance costs average 40% higher annually. For seniors on fixed incomes, these numbers represent wealth destruction on a massive scale. One solution is to downsize to a more practical vehicle. If you're holding on to expensive cars for emotional reasons, consider switching to a more affordable and reliable car. Focus on vehicles that are efficient, easy to maintain, and hold their value better over time. A modest sedan or hybrid car can meet your transportation needs without draining your finances. Moreover, you can evaluate your transportation needs honestly. If you drive less than 10,000 miles per year, consider one reliable, fuel-efficient vehicle instead of multiple luxury cars. If you live in an urban area with good public transportation or ride services, consider whether you need to own a vehicle at all. The key is to recognize that while luxury cars may bring comfort, they are ultimately depreciating assets that can limit your ability to access the financial resources you need for other priorities in retirement. So, is holding onto a luxury car really worth it? Or is it time to rethink how you allocate your resources? Share your thoughts in the comments below and reflect on whether your vehicle is truly serving your retirement goals. This connects to our next wealth destroyer, because just as luxury cars trap wealth in depreciating assets, certain investments can trap your money in ways that seem safe but leave you unable to access your own funds when you need them most. Asset number 3. The illiquid investment quicksand. Now we reach what I consider one of the most dangerous wealth traps for seniors. Investments that seem safe and profitable but lock up your money in ways that can leave you financially stranded when life demands flexibility. Let me reflect on what we've seen so far. How oversized homes trap wealth in maintenance costs, and how luxury vehicles drain money through depreciation. Both create cash flow problems, but our third wealth destroyer creates something even more dangerous: liquidity problems. Warren Buffett faced the dangers of illiquid investments later in his life. Despite his incredible wealth, Buffett has famously kept much of his fortune tied up in investments that don't offer immediate access to cash. While his long-term investment strategy has worked well for him, it also highlights the risks seniors face when a large portion of their wealth is locked in assets that can't be easily converted into cash. This is why it's critical to consider the liquidity of your investments, especially as you approach retirement. While long-term investments are necessary for wealth growth, balancing them with assets that are easily accessible is key to maintaining financial flexibility and security. After 60, your need for financial flexibility increases dramatically. Healthcare emergencies, family crises, or changes in living situations can require immediate access to substantial funds. If your wealth is tied up in investments with penalties, lockup periods, or limited marketability, you may be forced to borrow against your own money or accept devastating losses to access it. Many financial advisors recommend illiquid investments to seniors because they often offer higher yields than liquid alternatives. But what they don't adequately explain is that the higher yield is compensation for giving up liquidity, and after 60, liquidity is often more valuable than yield. You need to apply what I call the liquidity ladder approach. Keep at least 6 to 12 months of expenses in immediately accessible accounts. Maintain another 1 to 2 years of expenses in investments that can be accessed within 30 days without penalties. Only invest money you won't need for at least 5 to 7 years in truly illiquid investments, and never let illiquid investments represent more than 30% of your total portfolio. Before investing in anything, ask these questions. How quickly can I access this money if I need it? What will it cost me to get my money out early? Can I afford to have this money locked up for the entire term? If the answers aren't comfortable, don't invest. This awareness connects directly to our next wealth destroyer, because illiquid investments are often sold through high-fee financial products that compound the wealth destruction through ongoing costs. Asset number 4. The high-fee financial product vampire. The great investor Warren Buffett once said, "Wall Street is the only place that people ride to work in a Rolls-Royce to get advice from those who take the subway." As we delve deeper into the wealth destroyers that prey on seniors, we encounter what might be the most insidious financial products that slowly drain your wealth through excessive fees while promising safety and growth. This connects directly to our previous discussion of illiquid investments, because many high-fee products also restrict your access to your own money. This wisdom applies powerfully to seniors. The financial industry often profits most from the products that benefit clients least, especially when those clients are older and may not fully understand the fee structures. Take, for example, variable annuities. They can seem appealing for their guaranteed returns, but they often come with high annual fees, administrative costs, and surrender charges if you need to access your money early. Over time, these fees can erode your principal, leaving you with less than what you originally invested. Here's why high-fee financial products become wealth vampires for seniors. Fees compound over time just like investment returns, but in reverse. A 1% fee might seem small, but over 20 years it can consume 20% or more of your total returns. For seniors with limited time to recover from losses, high fees are particularly devastating because they reduce both current income and future growth potential. Many high-fee products are marketed to seniors using fear-based sales tactics that emphasize safety and guarantees while downplaying the cost of those features. What salespeople don't clearly explain is that you're often paying premium fees for benefits you may never receive or need. Research from Morningstar indicates that investors in high-fee financial products, those with annual costs above 2%, receive returns that are 1.5 minus 2.5% lower annually than those in low-cost alternatives, resulting in 30 to 40% less wealth over typical retirement periods. To avoid falling victim to high-fee financial products, it's essential to carefully review the fees associated with any investment before committing. Opt for low-cost alternatives, like index funds or ETFs, which have minimal management fees and still provide good returns. Regularly monitor your investments to ensure they align with your financial goals and make adjustments if you find hidden fees eating into your wealth. Lastly, seek advice from trusted financial advisors who prioritize transparency and have your best interests in mind. What do you think about high-fee financial products? Have you ever fallen victim to one? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's discuss how to better protect our wealth. Also, be sure to save this video so you can revisit it anytime you need a reminder on how to avoid these wealth-draining traps. Stay informed and make smarter financial choices. Here's your homework. Review your current investments and calculate the total fees you're paying annually. If those fees exceed $5,000 per $100,000 invested, you're likely being overcharged. This connects to our final wealth destroyer because high-fee products are often used to justify holding on to emotional assets that should be sold for practical reasons. Asset number 5. The emotional real estate anchor. I think of my sister-in-law Dorothy, a 74-year-old widow who owned 3 properties: her family home where she raised her children, a vacation cabin that had been in her family for generations, and a rental property she inherited from her parents. Each property held deep emotional significance, but together they were consuming nearly $4,000 per month in taxes, insurance, maintenance, and management costs while generating minimal income. Dorothy knew intellectually that she should sell at least 2 of the properties, but every time she considered it, she was overwhelmed by guilt and sentiment. How can she sell the cabin where her children learned to fish? Meanwhile, the carrying costs were eating away at her savings, and the management stress was consuming her energy and peace of mind. The Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh taught us that, thanks to impermanence, everything is possible. But for seniors holding emotional real estate, impermanence becomes the enemy. They cling to properties as if holding onto them could stop time and preserve memories. Properties require ongoing investment of both money and attention, regardless of their emotional value or your ability to afford that investment. Rental properties need management, maintenance, and periodic capital improvements. Vacation homes need security, upkeep, and seasonal preparation. Family properties need preservation and often become family conflict zones when inheritance questions arise. Additionally, holding multiple properties often means your wealth is concentrated in real estate rather than diversified across asset classes. This concentration risk becomes particularly dangerous for seniors who need portfolio flexibility and diversification. So, this is your liberation strategy. Evaluate each property purely on financial terms. Calculate the total ownership cost, taxes, insurance, maintenance, management, and opportunity cost. Compare this to the income and potential appreciation. If it doesn't make financial sense, weigh if the emotional value justifies the cost. For inherited or family properties, remember that memories live in your heart, not in buildings. You can honor your family's legacy while making practical financial decisions. Consider taking photos, creating memory books, or keeping small mementos rather than maintaining expensive properties. Practice this decision framework. For each property you own, ask, if I inherited $X, the current market value, in cash instead of this property, would I choose to buy this specific property with that money? If the answer is no, you should consider selling. Which properties are you holding for emotional rather than financial reasons? Understanding this helps you make decisions that honor both your past and your financial future. Conclusion. We've explored 5 dangerous wealth destroyers that commonly trap seniors. The oversized family home that consumes cash flow through maintenance costs, the luxury vehicles that drain wealth through depreciation and expenses, the illiquid investments that lock up your money when you need flexibility most, the high-fee financial products that slowly vampire your wealth. and the emotional real estate that anchors your money in unproductive assets. But here's what I want you to understand above all. Wealth in old age isn't about accumulating the most assets. It's about holding the right assets that work for you rather than against you. Your assets should generate income, not consume it. Your investments should be accessible when you need them, not locked away behind penalties and restrictions. Your costs should be transparent and reasonable, not hidden in complex fee structures. Your real estate should serve your current lifestyle, not preserve your past achievements. Over the next month, conduct what I call a wealth audit. For any asset that fails these tests, develop a plan to either improve its performance or replace it with something more suitable for your current life stage. Choose one asset from today's discussion that resonates with your situation. Whether it's downsizing your home, selling excess vehicles, moving money from high-fee products, or liquidating emotional real estate, take the first step this week toward protecting your wealth from these common destroyers. If this wisdom helped you see your finances in a new light, share it with others who might be unknowingly trapped by these same wealth destroyers. Sometimes, the best gift we can give is awareness that could save someone's financial future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated on more valuable insights. Thank you for joining me.